Cool's Uncommon Fossil, and today I want to take a look at a deck that is featuring Zapdos EX from 151. It's a basic EX Pokemon, 200 HP, so light on the HP side for a two-prize Pokemon. That's unfortunate. I'm putting it into a Miraidon deck because that seems to be what makes most sense with it as an alternate attacker in Miraidon. And then the nice thing is it is lightning weak and actually fighting resistance with a resistance to fighting. So whereas Miraidon and Regieleki, which is in the deck, are both weak to fighting, so that alternate weakness is a potential plus. It has an ability, Voltaic Float. If this Pokemon has any lightning energy attached, it has no retreat cost, so can become another pivot in the deck. The attack cost is all lightning energy. All the deck plays is lightning energy. So therefore, we do want to get lightning energy onto it as the game goes. So that's not a problem there. Its attack is an interesting option that I think will make the Miraidon deck work better. It's more versatile. It's 3 energy, multi-shot lightning, does 120 damage to the active. That's obviously less than Miraidon. But then this attack also does 90 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. So that's a nice plus. 90. It already has to have damage counters on it, so at least 10. So also at least 100 damage. So we can take out engine pieces like Curlias and such, or hit into something else to weaken it up to finish it off the next turn, or finish off something that they've retreated to the bench. So I like the swinging to the bench option. So put 2 copies of Zapdos EX into the deck. Now, it does need damage on the bench Pokemon to their bench Pokemon for it to do the 90, so I'm playing Radiant Alakazam. The deck used to have Radiant Greninja for the draw, but I dropped that for Radiant Alakazam. Might be better to drop this, I'm not sure. Hopefully the deck is consistent enough, that's the concern, by dropping the Radiant Greninja. But Painful Spoon's ability, once during your turn, you may move up to 2 damage counters from one of your opponent's Pokemon to another of their Pokemon. Just helps get damage onto the Pokemon on the bench we want to knock out, especially if there's a damaged active Pokemon, nothing damaged on the bench. Move from the active to the bench, so we're doing the full damage with Zapdos. And moving damage counters around over the course of the game does help anyway, even without Zapdos, it can help with getting the prizes when we want to, on the Pokemon we want to. So, like the Radiant Alakazam in the deck. Not playing Hawlucha, that does put damage counters on to bench Pokemon when we play it from hand. I just think that's just clogging up things too much. I think Radiant Alakazam will have more value over the course of the game. As I said, the deck also features Miraidon EX, 3 copies of Miraidon EX. This is still probably the main attacker. Photon Blaster for 3 energy, lightning colorless. We only play lightning energy, so 3 lightning in our case, essentially. 220 damage during your next turn. This Pokemon can't attack, so we have to switch into another attacker or double switch to use it again. And it has the ability, you're probably familiar with, Tandem Unit. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 2 basic lightning Pokemon, put them onto your bench, shuffle your deck. So really, really good for setting up Miraidon. The one thing it tends to do is it sets up really well a lot of the time. The hard parts are finishing off in the games. I do think Zapdos hitting at the bench as an option will help us close out those games where the deck struggles. And then I'm not playing Flaffies. I know that may be better, but I just find that it makes the deck a little more awkward to play. I don't like having those 90 HP Pokemon on the bench. To protect them, then you kind of want to play a Manaphy, so then it's Flaffy, Manaphy. You're down to 2 bench spots left for like a Regieleki and a Zapdos or whatever. I don't like the bench spot with those low HP Pokemon, so just leaning into the big boys that are tanky and lots of energy. We'll get to that shortly. And of course, Electric Generator usually powers things up. So playing a 3-4 Regieleki VMAX in the deck, 310 HP, no retreat cost, so this is a pivot. The VMAX is. It is here, Transistor, the ability, your basic lightning Pokemon's attack with 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So boosts Miraidon EX to the active and the Zapdos EX to the active. Unfortunately, it doesn't boost the damage to the bench, just the active, but nice. We can attack with it too. There's games where that makes sense. Does 220 damage, and it can't attack the next turn. Also similar to Miraidon for 3 energy, but sometimes having the tankier Pokemon just helps the prize math in the game. And then the Regieleki V is a nice option too. It has a retreat cost of 1, so it's not a pivot. unless we have Beach Court in play. And then it has the main attack with this Pokemon that is important for some matchups is Lightning Wall. 3 energy, once again, that's the attack cost. Seems like everything takes in this deck. It does 100 damage, but then during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 100 less damage from attacks. So this 200 HP Pokemon also needs 300 to knock it out. And if they manage to do that, they're still only getting 2 prizes. So it makes a very tanky 2-prize Pokemon. Very useful. Just keep that attack in mind to use at the right times. Playing 16 basic lightning energy. It's high count, but Electric Generator, you want to hit energies with that. We need 3 energies to attack. So to power up a Pokemon in one turn, we got to get 2 energies off the Electric Generator and manually attach and switch into the active. In order to make that happen with any reliability, we need lots of energy in the deck. Okay, what do we play? We play 4 Switch Carts because, again, Miraidon can't stream attacks. Regieleki VMAX can't stream attacks. So Switch Cart gets all of the basics out of the active spot and heals 30 damage off of it in the process, which is plus. We're playing 4 Judge, 4 Iono for draw supporters. I don't really want to play research. We don't want to get rid of these electric generators. I just don't think so. I don't really want research in this deck. It has some value, but a lot of times you don't. Most of the time you're going to want to recycle, see new cards, see more cards. So Iono and Judge, which do disrupt your opponent too. So that's a plus. 4 electric generator. Great card. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Attach up to 2 basic lightning energies you find there to your bench lightning Pokemon in any way you would like. Shuffle the rest back into your deck. So very, very good getting us set up. We play 2 Forest Seal Stone. We can attach it to our Regieleki V's, VMAXs, and just search for any one card once during the game. So like that a lot. Play 2 copies just because we have to draw into it, and it really is good getting that. We're playing 3 Beach Court, bumps Path, which stops Radiant Alakazam, and stops Regieleki VMAX's ability, which we want to make use of, and then gives Miraidon EX free retreat, which is a plus for sure. Let's see. We have 1 Super Rod, usually shuffle up any combination of Pokemon and basic energy from the discard pile into your deck. Usually I'm using it for energies just to, as the game gets later, to make better value out of those electric generator. We play 4 Nest Balls. We have the basic Vs. We got to get EXs and Vs. We got to get into play. So the Nest Ball there, and 4 Ultra Balls to get those evolution Pokemon and just get things going in the deck. And then play 3 Boss as well. 3 Boss is orders. It's obviously a very good card in every deck. This card's no exception. So just like this as an option in the deck. So I believe that's the full deck list, and I think it will be a pretty solid deck. Let's jump in the ladder and see what I can get out of this build. All right, let's see what we can do here with this game. Would like to go first. There's a possibility of attacking on turn 1, but all the attackers are 3 energies. Don't play a 2 energy attacker in this deck. So it's unlikely I can attack turn 1. Right? You got to be lucky. Get 2 energies off electric generator, or get multiple electric generators. And electric generator 2 energies on. Attach 1 by hand and have these switching cards. So it's not impossible, of course, but okay. So I can hit into him so up against Mew. I'm not thrilled about that, I gotta say. Zapdos probably will help me this game. Okay, I got Miraidon too. That's nice. So I'll set myself up the way I want. I like that, right? And actually, because I'm going to play Zapdos, having that getting damage onto a Genesect is a plus for sure, right? Might even want to use Alakazam to start moving those damage counters around. I got to think that through, right? Could move energy damage onto the Mew. I'll see what they play. I can't use Radiant Alakazam my turn. Okay, so they didn't get energy, so that's pretty good. They didn't do a ton. Okay. So they're giving me so I have the potential. I have the potential for a knockout here. So this I like. I like this a lot, right? So I might want to fill up the board here, right? So I want a Regieleki. I might want a Zapdos down. I think I might fill it up without Radiant Alakazam, I gotta say. Because I can't use it this turn. As long as I'm just knocking things out, I don't need Radiant Alakazam, right? So what do I have here? I've got 2 Regielekis. So we get a Zapdos down and another Regieleki. And now I use Electric Generator. I do have Sky Seal Stone, so I have Beach Court. Actually, I have Retreat, so I need to hit energy, and I whiffed energy. That hurts. That does hurt for sure. Okay, so I'm going to. I do want to get the knockout, so I'm gonna. Now that the fact I whiffed on that is a bad feeling, right? I feel bad. It just feels bad, right? So grab that. I have 11 energy. 12, 13. So that means I think I have 3 energy prize. So that's not good. Okay, got 2 energy this turn. Good. So that's nice. Miraidon. Look, so attach Beach Court. So this is where, this is part of the beauty of Miraidon, right? And Miraidon built for Electric Generator, right? Because if I played Flappy, I'd have less energy. I probably wouldn't have pulled this attack off, right? So, this is part of the nice thing about Miraidon. In fact, they were smart. They only put 3 on the bench, which meant, right, 3, 8, 9. So I was only going to do 180. I was going to come 10 short of one-shotting the Genesect. So my opponent was smart there, right? They might not have any cards to play also, but if that was a conscious choice, it was a good play. All right, so this is solid for sure. I need to switch. So they're going to get rid of the Beach Court, unfortunately. But I can put a Regieleki VMAX into play, which is good. And that becomes a pivot. So I'll need 1 Switch Cart, which I would have needed anyway, right? I Switch Cart to the bench and then retreat the Regieleki VMAX. I just have to make sure I sequence it right. Well, no, I don't have a choice. Okay, so getting rid of Rope, thinning. They missed the coin flip. That's good. DTE. Right now, they haven't played Power Tablet, right? No. So right now they don't have Knockout, right? They're doing 190. Now I don't knock them out, right? But this is where. And the good news is they can't attack with him again next turn. I assume they're copying Genesect V's attack. They're not going to knock me out. Their Mew on the bench is not prepared to attack. So this might be DTE Mew too. I don't know rather than Fusion Strike. All right, well that's my opponent. So there we go. Got a concession. My opponent obviously didn't like their position. Miraidon, it did its Miraidon thing there. I didn't get to show off the Zapdos, but I do think the Zapdos is a nice addition. It's going to be matchup dependent, is what I'd say, right? I'm not. So my thoughts on the deck after playing, and I played some other games too that aren't in the video. The Zapdos, I think it is a nice plus in the deck. That 90 to the bench can help fix things. I put the Radiant Alakazam in. I'm not. It may be better, honestly, to put in Radiant Greninja. That probably is better to go back to Radiant Greninja in the deck, right? Just because it helps set up a little bit more. The deck's set up decently for me, I will say, though, even without it. But I did miss the Radiant Greninja. Obviously, I'm very energy heavy, but you need to, you could cut maybe 1 energy. I would never go below 14 energy for a deck like this where you need 3 energies to attack for Electric Generator, and you're relying on Electric Generator, no Flappy. You need a lot of energies. So I like the energy count. Could maybe drop a boss and you could put in some research in the deck too. I don't know if I want that in the deck or not. Forest Seal Stone certainly came in big. I think in the game that I uploaded, I don't remember. I think it got me an Electric Generator on a turn when I had to have it. So I love that. Radiant Greninja or Alakazam. That's the question. You can let me know your thoughts below. Any other suggestions for the deck? I think I don't want to try to get too fancy to put damage on. Like I'm not going to put Hawlucha in the list. I don't think that will make the deck better. But being able to hit the bench on occasion is a big plus. And I do think it makes Miraidon. It also makes the Miraidon a little more thoughtful, right? Miraidon tends to be a deck that is pretty straightforward. It still relatively is, but now the Zapdos gives a new wrinkle to it, something else for you to think about when you're playing it, and something else for your opponent to think about it. So go ahead, give the Zapdos a try. I think you'll like it.